Hi, Mr. Bodell here, Bodell's Comfort Footwear. This video is going to discuss about measuring feet. And anytime you walk through our doors, we will measure both your feet. Now, if you insist you don't want to be measured, that's fine, but I would tell you that we change anytime, ranging from 3 to 6 months, due to weight gain, weight loss. Anything that can change will affect your feet, and it will also affect your feet sizes. You need to make sure that when you walk in through our doors, you have the attitude that we want to measure your feet. Because right now, at this moment, and when you come through our doors, you may be going through a period where you're overweight, or you put on 5-10 pounds, or you've lost 5-10 pounds. Whatever the case may be, the physicality of your body is going to affect the size of your feet. We go through all kinds of changes throughout our lives, and we can do it within months, within years. And the case for us, we require it to be measured, to measure your feet for the very reasons I just stated. You may have medical issues that have changed your condition as far as your foot size and things like that. So when it comes down to measuring feet, we have a pair of feet, but unfortunately for us as humanity, we are not perfect. If you notice, and doctors will tell you that you got one ear bigger than the other, you have one hand larger than the other, one of your arms a little longer than the other, well, your feet, one foot's going to be bigger than the other. It's just the way it is. Furthermore, you have to also look at the fact that you may have bunions, hammer toes, bunionettes. Those kinds of issues as well is going to affect the sizing of your feet. Now, I'm mentioning this only because a few days ago we had a customer come in that wanted to buy a pair of loafers. We measured her feet. She had one foot that was a little longer and a little wider, but she wanted a pair of loafers. And I have to tell you, loafers are very difficult to fit when you're dealing with discrepancies in your feet. If they're closer in size, you don't have a problem. But because loafers are what they call, and this one particular one is a true mock construction, it's an Indian mock, basically, construction. You have a center stitch that you take it from the center, you stitch it, and you bring it up, and you tuck it this way. So these kinds of loafers are particularly difficult to fit for people that have more than a half size difference between a pair of feet. And I tell you that, so when you're looking for loafers and they don't fit perfectly in your mind, it could be, and it probably is, the difference in your feet, whether it be sizing, bunions, hammer toes, those kinds of issues. Now when you come in, we measure your feet with a Brannock device. This is it here. It was developed in the early 20th century by Dr. Brannock, and he developed this device to measure accurately what your foot size is. So from heel to the ball of your foot, which is right here, where the ball of your big toe is, that's your arch. Okay? This is going to measure your width. And how you determine the width is that you go from heel to toe, and that gets you the toe length. Okay? Now, whatever's longer, whether it's from the heel to the ball of the foot, which is your arch, or from heel to toe length, that's going to determine the width of your foot, because this is measured by the determination of which is the longer of the two. Now, there's also other determinations that may affect. It's the volume of your foot, for example, the depth on the instep, and as well as whether you have hammer toes, bunions, or bunionettes. Okay? So when you're doing this, we measure both. All right? We determine which side would be best for you. We try to take a blend, to be honest with you, because we're not perfect. Not perfect, you have to kind of meld both the sizing of the individual feet to get the proper size for the pair of shoes. So you want to make sure your break is in the right place. What I mean by break, you want to look at your foot. If your foot has to match, the ball of your foot has to match the ball of the shoe. That's where your break is. You want your bend to be right across here. Okay, if your break is right there, that means it's fitting you from the heel to the ball of your foot, which is your arch. All right, and it's also a proper break from the heel to the toe length. So if your break is right across where the the bend of your foot is, that's a proper fitting, okay? Now, you're going to be off sometimes a little bit, especially with a loafer, like I just mentioned. And if you are, you're going to have to accept the fact whether if you want a loafer, then you're going to have a little bit of play in one of your feet. And the reason why you will is because you don't have a perfect pair. Your feet are not perfectly made as a pair. It's just the way we are as an individual. And we are all that way. I haven't seen a customer yet come through my doors in over 40 years that we have perfectly sized feet. We don't have a perfectly pair of feet. And you're going to have to make sure that you get the right fit and actually the right shoe for you. People with hammer toes and bunions and things like that, loafers are not particularly that good for you. You want to make sure you have firm counter support and you don't want any twist in the leather. This one has a little too much play if you've had issues with bunions, hammer toes, and as well you can go on further with gout, edema, any of these problems that you may deal with, diabetes for example. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea how we try to fit you here at the store. All our people are trained. They all have the knowledge as far as medical issues are concerned as well. So, you come in, I guarantee you, you're going to get the best possible fit in the parameters of imperfect feet. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Mr. Bodell, Bodell's Comfort Footwear.